Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Account Executive Training. We're going to be covering three main topics tonight: the initial appointment presentation, the new My Network One TV program, and the updates that are in your toolbox. So again, I'm glad that all of you are online with us tonight. I want you to know that's very, very important that you plug into each and every single one of these training sessions that we have. Now, we are recording them and making sure that they're stored in your toolbox, but there's nothing like being on these live. So I encourage you to be on each and every one of them. Now, how we want to start this presentation off is I want to let you know one thing. This is a 14-slide presentation. It's designed to do one thing and only one thing, to help you get permission to be able to pull the snapshot report. So this slide presentation is in your toolbox in your back office. So when you sit down with the client, what you really want to do is to start off with this slide that says the MNO marketing services. All you're telling your potential customer is exactly what My Network One does. So Mr. Client, we do video production, we do website design, we do graphic design, corporate rebranding, social media management, and we even do live video streaming, and we have solutions for that if that's something that you're interested in. But we are a network of solutions. The reason that we wanted you to know that is how important we think it is that people doing this work for you have the ability to be able to communicate with each other. So that if you've got something going on your website and you need some video on your website, that the two people doing that are talking to each other. And if you was to visit our facility out in Newport Richey, Florida, you would find a 10,000 square foot facility, and every one of these services are inside of that facility, so that when we sit down to do something for you, it's a team effort and everyone knows what the other people are doing, and that's how you come up with a successful advertising campaign. But today I'm only here to talk to you about one of our products, and that's reputation management. And this is all about protecting your online reputation. And as we know, it's very, very important to make sure that you're monitoring that. It's kind of like your credit report. This is your way of being able to see what people are actually saying about you online. So these next few slides are to, and this is not something that you're going to show the client, this is just for tonight's purposes. The next few slides is about creating credibility for you. Now keep in mind, if you don't know this business owner personally, or it's not a warm market lead for you, you just walk in, guess what? Unfortunately, you're just another salesperson in there to try to sell them something. So it's very, very important that we're able to share with that client what other people, what recognizable, what credible people are saying about online reputation. So we started with an 800-pound gorilla, and that's Forbes magazine. And Mr. Client, this is what Forbes magazine says. If you think online reputation management is only for the big brands, think again. There's never been a more critical time in history to proactively manage the reputation of your brand. Endless amounts of information is at the fingertips of consumers. The economy has never been more transparent and has never been easier for consumers to share their experience with brands and products. Entrepreneurs who aren't taking an aggressive approach to managing their reputation online could be setting themselves up for costly problems. Now again, this is coming from an expert, the Forbes magazine people. It's not coming from us as a salesperson. And then we added another one in there. This is from Entrepreneur magazine. Stop losing business because of the way you look online. Have you Googled yourself lately? Hopefully you have, because you can be assured others are looking you up online. Your online reputation is like your resume, your business card, and a bit of your personal life all rolled into one. This is the time that you want to start getting interactive. Ask the client, do you go online and check about a restaurant or a particular, like a plumber, if you're getting ready to use them, most people do this. And then the last one, which I think is extremely important, and that's why we left it for number 3. For every 1-star reputation increase, your business volume will increase between 5 to 9%. Mr. Client, this came from the Harvard Business School. So what we're saying is, if you're a 2-star right now and you would progress up to a 4-star, do you realize that your volume will increase 10% to 18%? Now, hopefully by this time, the business owner is thinking about what their sales volume is, and they're thinking, wow, that could be a game changer for my business, because this is the only thing that we're talking to them about today. We're just talking to them about their online reputation management. So, again, this is not a part of the presentation. This is just for you to understand what these next few slides are going to be about. And the question is, does the client know what's being said about their business? Now, the old way was word of mouth. The new way is online chatter. And this is a very puzzling dilemma, if you would. And so what we're doing is we're trying to help the client put the pieces of the puzzle together to make sense. So what you want to be able to tell them is say, look, you know, when I started in business, or maybe when you started in business, this is all and how you interact with that client depending upon their age. You know, if I was sitting there, I'm 57 years old, and you'd be saying, look, when I got in business, there was a few things that you did. You joined the local chamber, you put a yellow page ad in, and then we hope that our customers went in and told other people about our business. That's that word of mouth side. But in today's digital world, keyboards are now doing all of the talking. And explain to them that. It doesn't matter if this is a customer that came into your business for the first time, or this is a client that you've been, you know, taking care of for the last 10 years. If they've had a bad experience, they may not want to confront you, Mr. Business Owner, on a personal basis, but be well assured that when they get behind that keyboard, they get a whole lot braver, and they'll basically say exactly what's on their mind. So the question is, do you know what's going on out there and what people are saying about your business? This slide has a lot of powerful information in it. The cost of an unhappy customer. It's okay to ask your client, do you know the cost of unhappy customers to your business? Make sure that you covered these 2 points. Customers are 3 times more likely to tell their friends about a negative experience. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm going to go to a restaurant and the food was bad and the service was terrible, guess what? I probably will tell more than 3 people. Or if I go to a show that's been hyped up through TV ads and I went to it and it was very disappointing, I will tell more than 3 people. This is all about telling the client about all of this feedback that's coming at them in all different shapes and forms and different ways that it gets there. But this next statement says that it takes 12 positive experiences to make up for the 1 unsolved negative experience. This is a great time to ask the business owner a question. Mr. Business Owner, let's say that you were going to go out for dinner this evening and you or your wife actually went on and Googled that particular restaurant and it showed a 2-star rating. The question is, would you go to that restaurant? If you're like me, there's no way that I'm going to that restaurant. But here's the funny thing. How does the restaurant know that they just missed that business? We're going to show you a system that's going to help you solve those dilemmas. Now, do we think that that restaurant is really that bad? Well, the consumer might, but I'm telling you that if the restaurant was really a 2-star restaurant, more than likely they would be out of business. But here's what's happening to this particular business, we think, and that is that the customers are happy, don't feel that it's important to tell other people about how great their experience was at that restaurant. The system that we're going to show you is going to encourage and give people the opportunity to give positive feedback about their experience at your business. Because again, an unhappy customer is an influential one, and we want to be able to again show you how to be able to handle that. This is really the only big statistics that I want you to get into. Again, this presentation should be no more than 15 minutes. Keep in mind, business owners are very, very busy, so don't go in there and try to, I would call it throw up all over them with all of these details and everything. Now's not the time. This 14 slide presentation, again, is only to do one thing. That's ask for permission to pull a snapshot report on them. But make sure that they see these graphs and understand what it's about. In 2016, 92% of consumers read online reviews before visiting a business. Now, here's probably where, again, you could ask, Mr. Business Owner, do you do that? And did you know that 95%, 94% of consumers would use a business with a 4-star rating? And then you can go through the before entering a store and in-store experiences. Now, what's the offer? Again, this slide is not part of the 14 slides. The offer is we would like to pull a free snapshot report on your business. Now, here's an example of a snapshot report that we pulled on our own business. We want them to know this. So don't be ashamed to show this slide. Again, we didn't know what we didn't know. This snapshot report shows that we didn't do very well. Now, the reason that I want you to include this is I don't think that you want to walk in and let's say that you're talking to a pizza store. Unless you've been in the pizza business, be very careful about how you walk in and tell a person how to run their business. We're not there to do that. We're there to use technology and algorithms to be able to give them a digital footprint. So I think it makes us very vulnerable, if you would, because we're now talking to the business and saying, look, we know, and you may not be there, but we know that we were there and that we needed to do something, but we didn't really know how to do it. So this is our why. And I want you to cover this slide. This is a message from me. This becomes third-party validation, if you would, but more importantly, this becomes a way for the third party that's not there with you to be able to ask for that permission to pull that report. So make sure that you go through this slide. At My Network One, we thought we were doing everything correctly. However, we didn't know what we didn't know. Using an online algorithm process, we were stunned to find out that My Network One online presence returned a failing score of 31. So now we've taken the pressure off of that business owner. We're not walking out there with our chest all stuck out and saying, oh man, we're the greatest thing since sliced bread. What we're saying is that we did have problems. And what did that do? It actually opened up our eyes on that day. Then go on to tell them, after spending nearly 1 year trying to figure out and correct all of the problems internally, we finally located a highly qualified company specializing in online reputation management. However, their business strategy was dealing only with Fortune 100 companies, and the cost was extremely expensive. After a series of negotiations, My Network One not only became a customer, but turned into a licensee to bring this technology to the marketplace for small and medium-sized businesses, and at a very reasonable price. That is why we are here today. I encourage you to let My Network One construct a free snapshot report detailing your online digital footprint. You will be glad you did. And again, that comes from me. So basically what you did was you used that slide to actually allow me to ask for permission. And maybe that might take a little bit of the pressure off right there And then, of course, you guys are going to be asking for the permission to be able to do that. So that's kind of leading in to this next slide, because what I want you to do at that point in time is I want you to plant a seed. Now this seed is being planted, so once you pull the snapshot report and you come back in to that particular business owner, they're already going to have a little bit of an idea of where you're heading. Now, what I would do is I would talk to them about the perfect employee. That is a virtual employee. And it is a brighter idea, Mr. Business Owner. These virtual employees work 24/7, 365 days out of the year. They never call in sick. They don't take in vacations. There's no insurance that you have to pay for them. And they're almost guaranteed 100% accuracy. What I want you to know, it's not just that you would be getting me to help you manage this online reputation, but we have a team of over 100+ people that are monitoring your online activity every single hour of the day, every day of the week, every week of the year. Now, we talked about credibility. So this gives us another opportunity to come down here and read this little statement. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently, and that came from Warren Buffett. So again, we've set the stage for being able to sell them this virtual employee, which is the way that we want you to sell the reputation management program. And on this slide, again, we validated that with credibility. Now, this is the last slide, second to the last slide, and this slide basically sets that how do you make for a successful online presence? Well, it's about more than just reputation management. It's about your website, it's about your reputation, it's about listings, and it's about your social media. Now again, keep in mind that this snapshot report is going to be the door opener, the red carpet if you would, to be able to see if you can sell them something else. Does their website need some help? You know, websites and social media now is all about what? What gets seen more than text? Video. Guess what you sell? Video. So what's the next step for you? Let My Network One pull a free snapshot report about your business. Let's see what your digital footprint looks like and how you stack up against your competition. That's a very strong statement at the end, how you stack up against your competition. Because if I'm a business owner and you're offering me something for free and you're going to come in and tell me some things about my competition, man, I'm on board with that all day long. And you hear Ed talk about that every single time that he talks about these snapshot reports. So make sure that that becomes part of your presentation. And the last thing that you're going to leave with them is, I don't know, Mr. Business Owner, if you're interested, but I do want to tell you that we're a cutting edge company and we do have live event streaming if that fits into your business plan. We believe it's the future of online broadcasting. So this is where the slide presentation ends. Again, all you're doing is leaving that particular business, asking for permission to pull a snapshot report for them. I encourage you, do not, and I repeat, do not pull a snapshot report on a business before you ask for their permission. Now, one of the other things that I want you to know is that we are creating what we call a war room inside of our offices. Now next week you're going to see some training from Rusty, whether he'll do that live or actually cut a video and then put it in your toolbox. But what we want you to do is to start using your CRM in your back office. Now what we're going to do every morning is our team at My Network One is going to sit down together every single morning, and we're going to look at the CRMs and we're going to see what appointments that you have scheduled, because we want to make sure that we can help you prepare to go in for that appointment. We might have an account executive that just went to call on a heating and air conditioning company and they had success. Well, we're going to share some of that information with you before you go in to call on your heating and air conditioning company. And then we're also going to ask you to post your results and when you're going to go back in with the snapshot report. All of this is not about us saying, oh, well, are they going here or going there? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, look, you're a 1099 employee. If you don't want to go out and make calls, it doesn't cost me anything. But if we know where you're going and we know when your follow-up is, all we're going to do is to talk to you about how we can help you. And hey, don't forget to talk about this. And again, as a collaborative team together, not just corporate, but all of the account representatives that are going out there, this is going to be a huge help to you. We had one of the local account executives here that just sold the client a streaming program, a website, and reputation management, all to the same client. Now here's the cool thing about that. That client flew in from Tennessee to come and visit our office. It's very, very powerful that we know what's going on out there so that we can help you. Now, getting into some of the new stuff, I want you to check out the new MNOTV.com website. You're going to be like, okay, how do we get there? Well, you just go to mynetwork1.com, look up in the header, and where you saw Hometown Networks is now been changed to MNO TV. Now, we could change that tab one more time after getting some feedback from you guys. And that means that we might put live video streaming there or something that makes maybe a little bit more sense than that. So let me tell you where one of the big changes is. We were having a lot of confusion out there going in and talking to someone about Hometown Networks because you had to follow it. It was Hometown Networks. I'm a My Network One rep. I'm talking to you about this company called Hometown Networks, and Hometown Networks is dealing with Strive. So you had three people in the puzzle, and it became very, very confusing. You know, who do I write the check to? How long does the process take? So what we've done is we have gone into our own program, My Network One Live Event Streaming. For those of you that came down here and met Bill Rasmussen, the founder of ESPN, Bill is still on board. He is being a consultant for us, but we just thought that it made more sense to deal directly with My Network One. Now, Bill just has a lot of things going on in his life, and I think that we very quickly found out how big this live event streaming can be. So we talked to Bill, and through, I don't even want to say negotiation, it was definitely the right decision for us to be selling My Network One live streaming instead of Hometown Network. So that's good news for you guys. What that means is that we've changed the website. You're now going to be seeing our logo on there instead of Hometown Networks and instead of Strive. And we're still the future of broadcasting. We're still focused somewhat on sports, but you're going to see in a slide here in just a couple of minutes about how much broader this live event streaming has grown into. Now, with everything, there's always changes. Here's the great news. Your commission payouts just went through the roof. So let me run down this with you very quickly. The first system that you sell, you're going to make $1,000, so nothing has changed there. However, the second system that you sell is going to pay you $1,250. And then the third system and beyond, for every system you sell over 3, you're going to be making $1,500 on every single one of them. Ladies and gentlemen, you could have a substantial income if you went out and just sold 2 of these every single month. That would be amazing, because keep in mind that you sell one of these into a school and you sell it to the football program, and pretty soon the basketball program wants to put one in the gymnasium, and then the soccer people are like, well, we need one over here, and then the baseball people are like, well, we need one too. So as you can see, making that first sell, especially in the sports arena, can be very, very profitable for you. We were able to cut out some of the middle people here, so we could have kept that profits ourselves, but that's not what we're all about. Keep in mind that My Network One is still the everybody wins network, and we want to make sure we have a great product to our client, but more importantly, we want to make sure that we're taking care of our reps, our account executives, people just like you. Now, one of the things that we put this slide in here for is to let you know that when these schools want to expand to buy more systems or to buy more streaming hours, we have created a way for them to be able to sell advertising to local people in their areas. I just wanted to be able to show this to you real quickly. We're going to be bringing out some more training on this and exactly how this is going to take place, but it's very, very simple for them to be able to do and to be able to insert that advertising into their streams. Now, there's also on the Explore page of your MNOTV.com site. Again, MNOTV.com is in the tab at the top of MyNetwork1.com. And there's a new video in there that I encourage you to go in. It's not a whole lot different, but we will be customizing that over the next few days. But I just wanted to call your attention to that. Now, what we're finding out from account executives just like you is there's endless possibilities for this event streaming equipment. The gentleman that flew in from Tennessee, he has a talk radio show. He's syndicated like 2,200 plus iHeart radio stations around the country, and he wanted to start streaming his program. So that's really exciting. We've already talked about high school sports. I want to talk about wedding planners. Think about a wedding planner that can offer this service to their clients for the people that can't afford to travel to come to the wedding, or people that are confined because of health reasons. Maybe they have people that are in the military or in a different country. It's a great service, and it can be very profitable for the wedding planners. Automotive dealers, home run. We're going to be shooting video at an automotive dealer next week. We've already sent in some lower thirds, which is a way for the car dealers to be able to type in the makes, the models, you know, the retail price and the sale price, so it's showing up at the bottom when they do these. That's a home run. I'm just telling you, you go in and sell it to one dealer. Well, if it's like it here in Florida, and I know it's this way all over the country, that dealer might represent 5 or 6 different lines. And again, asking a car dealer to spend $9,500, for them, that's a drop in the bucket. Hotel conference rooms. Go visit your local hotels. If they have a conference room, again, it's now another upsell. You go to a hotel room, they want to say, oh, do you want to use our overhead projector? Well, that's going to cost you X amount of dollars. Do you need a screen? Do you need, and now it just gives them another product to be able to sell, and it really allows them to differentiate themselves from some of their competition. Church worship services, again, we're already selling the program to them. Local chambers of commerce. Now, let me just share something with you. We do 3 local chamber shows a week from our studios here in Newport Richey. Local chambers, this is a way for them to be able to let other chamber members know what's going on, but more importantly, it's to let the community know about what their chamber is all about and what they're actually giving back to their community. Corporate trainers. And here's what I'm talking about is that if you've got a business in your area that have a lot of salespeople, especially salespeople all over the country, this becomes a much more efficient way for them to be able to train, is to be able to stream these trainings and not having to buy airplane tickets and hotel rooms and food. And yes, we're going to start using these ourselves so that we're not asking everybody to fly into Newport Richey. However, that will not change for account executives coming on for the first time, because we believe that you need to be here. So if you didn't come out here on our first training, you need to make sure that you're getting plugged into our second one, which I believe is going to be sometime in January. You need to make sure, because if a client asks you, have you ever been to this office? The last thing you want to say is no. It's like, no, I've been there. Let me tell you what I saw. Event centers. We have a group of Verizon event centers around here that, again, it's another program that they can offer people coming in to rent those rooms. Motivational speakers. Again, a motivational speaker could use this and actually do a pay-per-view. So they may be talking at a particular venue, and it's just another revenue stream for them. There are people all across the country that want to hear what they say, but they can't be here. It's a way for them to be able to stream them out. Newspapers, we're going to get into that a little bit more in the next one. But the bottom line is, if you can dream it, we can stream it. Now, the other thing I want you to do is I want you to make sure that you are in your toolbox. This account executive toolbox is for you. It's not for us, it's for you. It is for us in the point that we're putting all the training, the services, the solutions, the strategy, how to make you more efficient. Everything is in that toolbox. But guess what? You've got to use it. You've got to get in there. So if you don't know how to log into your toolbox and get in there, we're going to be doing some video training on that next week. Give Rusty a call. He'll be more than happy to walk you through that. Now, I want you to remember what's in your toolbox that we talked about on this webinar tonight. That's your pre-call checklist. That's that checklist that you're going to fill out that is going to educate you a little bit more about that business before you ever go make your first initial call. It's real simple. Go to google.com, put in the name of the business or the type of services. So it could be, you know, Rod's Pizzeria or pizza stores in Newport Richey. And then just fill out the questions that it's asking you. It will take you less than 5 minutes to fill that out, but will make you very prepared to go in for that call. Also in your toolbox is the Rep Matters video for your desktop. This will allow you to be able to put that video on your desktop in case you're out someplace and you can't get internet access. The new first call PowerPoint, that's the 14 slides that you saw on this call tonight, is in your toolbox. And then the Rep Matters new PowerPoint, this is for when you pull the snapshot report and go back to present to ask for the close of business. That PowerPoint is also in there. How do you get them? www.mynetwork1.biz. That's the access to the PowerPoint. Now, you might be asking yourself, okay, what's next? Again, I want to reiterate, extremely important that you plug into these trainings, that you get involved. So I want you to mark your calendar. November the 29th, we're going to be talking about the sales process. These are the forms, the contracts, how to use your toolbox, and much, much more. December 6th, MNO services, the big picture on how you take the snapshot report and then ask for additional business. You may get a client that's got a 4.5-star rating, and they've got 600 reviews. It's not a lot you can do from reputation management except to keep them consistent there, but you now have the opportunity to say, hey, we can make your website a little bit better. Have you thought about using video a little bit more? So we'll be talking about that. December 13th is social media. Now, this is how you can promote your business and contact through social media, whether it's Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and also LinkedIn. December 20th, how to do a live stream presentation. Extremely important if you're going to go out and sell our streaming services. December 27th, account executive's choice. So what we're asking you to do, let myself, let Ed, let Rusty know what you would like to see covered in that particular webinar, and that's what we're going to do. I know it's a couple days after Christmas, but I'm hoping that you can just carve out 30 to 45 minutes for us. Again, all of this will be available at mynetwork1.biz, and we're also going to start putting in the webinar links in your toolbox so you don't have to worry about Did you miss the web, or did you miss the email? Did it go into your spam folder, or whatever it is that takes place there? We're going to do that. And last but not least, I want to wish all of you a happy Thanksgiving. I want you all to know how thankful we are to have you as a part of my Network One family. We are servants to you. Our job at corporate is to serve you. Your job is to serve your client. Always keep the client first. Make sure that you always do the right thing. And to keep in mind that if you attack this business with what we call a servant's heart, you will be successful. So again, I want to thank all of you for being on this call tonight. I want all of you to make sure that you have a great, happy Thanksgiving. And don't forget to be thankful for the things that you have. All of you are special. Again, with that, I'm going to end the webinar tonight. Again, have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you back here next week.